Hello everybody and welcome to the Sauropod Squad. Here on this channel, our theme is dinosaurs, but our... Excuse me, sir. I'm doing an intro. Our theme is dinosaurs, but our passion is for a variety of game... Excuse me! At least he's leaving. Folks, if that's your vibe, welcome. You found your herd. Today, in today's episode, I'm standing here in the room that I wasn't sure what we were going to do with last episode, but I've decided, you know what? We get a lot of... That guy needs to be quiet. Okay, with him shut in there, let me give you guys the tour. I decided that this is going to be pretty much like the museum area, or rather, it's like the back of the lab where they're doing research on the really rare artifacts that they actually don't want to give the public access to. A big reason I did this, all these iron doors, was because I actually really needed to trap the villager in here, or paleontologist, archaeologist actually. So you can see he was like stuck as a leather worker last time. He's cool now. He's figured out which job he wanted. He actually bounced between archaeology and analyzer a bit. But then I ended up breaking the analyzer and he reset. And that's because you can see I've done a little bit of change here. I basically put a hopper underneath these things, which you can see here. So I got a hopper just running into a chest because these things were filling up too fast when I was running a bunch. It only has 4 slots, right? It just wasn't enough for the machine downstairs to keep up with it. But I have been running these machines quite constantly in this very noisy room. We've got the cow, we've got the villager, and we got the machine running downstairs. So the lab feels like a factory, really, but that's fine. I've also gone ahead and kind of reinforced the area here where the culture vats are. I can still reach in, and I think, because I put a carpet here, we increased the space there. So I'm hoping that the Stegosaurus is still a full block. And won't come rushing out, but the next time we get one, we'll know whether or not this works, and if we have to replace this with something else, like a trapdoor that I open and close, so be it. But I have spent the weekend in here, kind of running the machine and doing everything, and you can see here we've got quite a bit of DNA, I'm happy to say. I did, once I started to get a big stock, I figured, hey, let's go grab the stock of Anonymous' stock that I showed you guys last episode. So we went and got his stuff, which actually did give me some more backpacks. He had one that was like pretty upgraded, so I've gone ahead and I've got even more backpacks, but if I'm real, guys, I might not be using a chest room this playthrough, and I'm just gonna make the backpacks bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'll just carry everything on me always. But yeah, the machine also got us a bunch of fossilized seeds and, you know, ferns and a bunch of stuff. I also went and kind of got more supplies for the biogoo because I didn't want to be running out of biogoo. So it's actually pretty handy. The fact that the mushroom cow is here, I trapped it because it gives us milk. And we need milk for biogoo. So that's perfect. You're totally meant to be here. But now that we have a bunch of DNA, I really want to spend this episode, and supplies, right? I want to spend this episode kind of running the vats. I'm not gonna make you guys kind of watch it as much as last time. I'm gonna run the machine for quite a while, and then I'll basically come back to you guys with the results. But once we do that, and we actually have a lot of population, right? We'll have a bunch of Dryos. I still haven't actually... Ooh, there's an Enderman out there. Careful where I look. I still haven't... I haven't got a Stegosaurus, or a Brachiosaurus, by the way. Been looking out for that from day one. But still haven't got a Stegosaurus, but we have got some Dryos, which means the wall needs to go up, and at the minimum, we can at least populate this with Dryosauruses. So the goal today is really to get this exhibit at least functioning, and to get some Dryos in there. We also have a few guys to go name, so why don't we go do that first, and then I'll get to running the machines. But let's head on over to our little avian exhibit over here and say hi to someone new. Alright guys, here in the Dimorphodon exhibit, look who has grown up. It has obviously been a few days. I've been running the lab, and so I've been playing all weekend. So this little one has grown up, and it's a few days old. And I asked you guys for names in the comment section, and a few of you came up with a bunch of names for some of the Dimorphodons, and the cow even, and the Dilo. So I have picked names, and I do want to say we're going to be calling this one Nova. This was, let me check the side, Carnivore Nationalist suggested this name, and I really like it. I'm a big fan of Silver Surfer, as I've mentioned a few times. I don't know in this series, but definitely on the channel. I love Silver Surfer. He is my, oh, that's Coco. He's my favorite superhero, and Nova is one of the heralds of Galactus, and she's really cool. I think her name is Frankie Ray or Francie Ray. I forget her last name, but she's she's like this rollerblading girl from Miami, and then she becomes a herald of Galactus. But her name is Nova, and so, woo, there you go, Nova. Welcome to the crew. We've got Nova and Coco hanging out here in the Morphodon exhibit, and I like it. Good name. Thanks for the suggestion. Now, for the other creatures that we got last episode, we've got the Dilo, and now the Dilo, I still need to get it to hatch, so maybe it'll explode into even more Phalosauruses. But you guys suggested a few names, be it Mallory, Wade, or Karen, based off if they're male or female. So I think we're going to go with Mallory if it's a female, and we're going to go with Wade if it's a male. But the good thing is, guys, we need a bunch of Dilos, so we'll probably get those to be named for all of them. And I'm also going to go back to the original Dilo episode, see what you guys recommended, and get our names. But somebody suggested Mushroom guy here be Dr. Fungus, and I think that works because he's going to hang out. He's going to do some science. So welcome to the crew, Dr. Fungus. And Dr. Fungus was actually recommended by someone named Puppetry, so thank you for that suggestion. I really like it. The fact that he's a doctor fits very well here in the lab. You know, maybe we should get a fun name for the villager, too. This guy should have an interesting name. Give me some names for this guy, too, while we're at it. Alright, folks, but it's time for another time skip while I do even more work here in the lab. We're going to get a bunch of eggs, hopefully, up and running. I'm going to run those analyzers a bunch. I will probably bring you guys back in when a Phallosaurus breaks. But besides that, let's get a bunch of work done in the lab. Alright, you know, honestly, I didn't calculate for this situation. I'm still not sure if the Phallosaurus can get out, but we got another mushroom. I'm gonna be real with you guys, though. I think the lab's budget really only has enough space for one doctor mushroom, so... Achoo! Excuse me, I don't know where that came from. My bad. Must be allergies. Alright, but I did learn that the carpet isn't going to work because the water obviously rushes out. So I need to find a way to kind of reach through here, which doesn't seem like I can do with fences either. I need to find a way. Let me know, guys. I need to find a way where it'll block them back, but I can still reach. I mean, I guess I could do slabs, but it's not going to look as good. Oh, duh. I'll just do trapdoors. Shh. Easy. Oh ho ho! Right on cue, we get to see if it works. It very much did work. Okay. Perfect. He can't get out. And he's just hopping around. And then after, I would love to be able to flip that down to get my stuff, but gonna have to come up with another contraption, I think. Maybe a trapdoor on top here and flip that up. Not sure. But regardless, that at least keeps them contained, which is nice. So you gotta do like a little bit of work afterwards to get everything back in place. Oh my god. Guys, a creeper can spawn. Oh, I'm so glad I thought to like contain it. Imagine a creeper just popping out right here if I didn't have it contained and exploding like all of this and maybe getting over here, blowing up that. Woo-wee! Wow, okay. Well, I'm glad that this system already works for a creeper. I gotta figure out a better way to get the items back. Maybe I could just put a hopper underneath and then the items will immediately get pulled in. I can put like a little chest here. But wow, that made my heart skip a beat. I walked up thinking it was a Phallosaurus and then just saw a creeper and I was like, ah! You know? And then started recording. Wow. Okay. Jeez. Well, guys, as I've been chilling here in the lab, I actually came up with an idea to name our scientists. This guy specifically is helping us with the Jurassic Park section, right? That's what we've mainly been building. We haven't done Cretaceous or Triassic or anything like that yet. So I think it makes sense, at least to me, if we name this guy. Let's drop this in here. I want to name this guy after the one, the only John Hammond. Welcome to the park, John. I think you'll fit in just well. And for those of you who don't understand the reference, you've got a certain Jurassic Park movie to watch, I think. Alright, folks, well, I think I'm getting towards the end here of all of the Jurassic DNA, which is great. You see a little sneak peek in there. I've got another compy done, another Orny. Let's see, these guys are almost done as well. I ignored the Cretaceous and Triassic, right? We're just going to focus here on the Jurassic. And I've gone ahead and laid these out kind of as the exhibit. So if you imagine, here's the Dilo, here's the sauropod exhibit, this is the our visitor lab, the Cerato's there, the compy's going to be to his left, we've got the aviary right here with the Dimorphodons, and over here will be Dryo, and still no Stegos, but that's because I'm I'm just making the eggs. Gotta run the DNA machine a little bit more. And 4 allos, so we are getting real set up here for the future, and that is very exciting. So at least by the end of this episode, we can hatch 2 new Ceratos, 2 new Dryos. We still got to make the Allo exhibit. We can get another Dimorphodon. The Diplodocus, obviously, we'll have to build the Sauropod exhibit. We can get 4 Dilophosaurus, which is great. We can have 7 of them in one exhibit, if I remember. So that's getting up to that limit. And then 2 compies, and the Orny will have to wait until they get their exhibits as well. A big thing that I'm a little worried about going forward is I need to really overhaul our food processing. We have that automatic chicken feeder that feeds Chomper, the T-Rex, and it does feed in excess, which is great. So that's where I've been getting all the food for pretty much all of our other dinosaurs. Luckily, running this machine down here will give us a ton of potatoes and carrots, so our herbivores should be fine. I just have to, you know, still manually move everything around, which is all fine and dandy. Of course, down the line, like I mentioned, I do want to really use the trains underground to kind of go around and automatically gather all of the resources and just deposit into all the feeders around the park, so I can AFK without any worry that these will run out. Because currently the way it happens now is if I'm AFKing for 2 or 3 hours, afterwards I feel like I should go check on the animals, right? I should go check if their food is ready, they're not glitching out. And of course glitching out, I think it is going to occur, right? At some point in the future, we're probably going to lose a dinosaur and not know why, right? It'll say in the chat, it'll be like, 1 Dilo has died, and you're just like, why? And you come over here and we just won't know why. It'll be a mystery, I think. But I do want to let you guys know, I mentioned this in the comments of the last episode, so it was a response to somebody, so one person knows, but I want to let you all know. Now that, unfortunately, we are single player, and Al over there doesn't live on the server anymore, so to speak. He might visit from time to time. We could use something like Hamachi to get him to play on the server, kind of single player, or like LAN, if you will. So he might show up, but for all intents and purposes, his area over there is not abandoned, but more or less 100% ours now. So the plan was always to make this the facilities area, right? That's where we got the auto wood. If we have any other Minecraft buildings or machines, it's going to go over there. Obviously the workshop will always be handy for the create mod. But I was being kind of loose and letting him kind of take over the design of the layout. And now that he's gone, I think I want to go over there and spend some time like really making the area paved and have like streets and look like the back end of a park, right? Look like a facility section. I think the buildings fit in already. They look great, right? You've got your kind of wind energy kind of hotel almost, or like lodging. You've got a big brick wood storage building, and then you've got kind of a sleek facilities where you're actually building everything. And I still got to come back here and make a small iron building of some sort, but there's so many things to do. Anyway, I bring this whole area up too because I want to build probably over in this area, kind kind of a train junction, or maybe even right next to, like, right here, because we've already got all the infrastructure with the train routes going underground, right, dropping off the wood as the train smoke goes by. But yeah, I want to get a section on one of these sides that automates a lot of food, and I'm talking a lot of food. Be it a big cow crusher or a chicken farm or something like that. It could even be one of those crazy piglin hoglin farms in the nether, and then transporting the stuff back and forth through nether portals. I've seen crazy stuff like that be possible in this game. Might not want to do that at our home base, but my point stands. I really need a lot more food, and so going forward, and probably in the next few episodes, that's going to be a full focus. We need to really overhaul our food, and then we'll start thinking about automatically routing it through the whole park. I want to get pretty much the Jurassic Park section completely done with automated food, and then once that is complete, we can basically say, hey, park is open. But the Cretaceous and the Triassic sections will be coming soon. You know what I mean? I do think, however, the automatic chicken will be enough for all these creatures. I just really hope that I don't hatch a bunch and then run out of food. You know what I mean? I don't want, like, a starvation event that is, you know, on my accord. I don't want to be the meteor that comes crashing down on these animals. I am a zookeeper, and, you know, we're going to have to really take care of these creatures. But I do think the chicken that we have right now, it's been a lot. It's been pretty sufficient. But before we get all that food figured out, I think it is finally time, guys, for another time lapse. It's time to make this wall. Again, I think I'm going to do some sort of design like that. I might kind of buffer the areas with some gravel so it looks a little bit natural. I'm not really sure exactly how I'm going to go about doing it, but, oh no, cultivation failed. I do like this glass wall here looking into the lab. You can see the vats and you can see what happened. So we didn't get a creeper. We just got another Phalosaurus. But folks, I'm going to deal with this guy. Let's cut away to a wall time lapse. And after that, I'll come back to you with the ideas and plans for kind of the terrascaping, right? Or the landscaping, I guess. We got to make some waterfalls, make some rivers, and get some trees in there. Maybe make a little forest, a little prairie. It's going to be fun. I'm excited for this exhibit, and let's get it officially underway. Let's do it. All right, everybody, welcome back after the time lapse. I'm not gonna lie, I had a YouTuber oops. I just recorded a good 30 minutes. Totally dropped the ball, guys, and wasn't recording. My bad. It happens. I'm human. Super frustrating. I'm very mad at myself. But as you can see, the little guy behind me, we've got some dinosaurs here in this exhibit now. We've got went ahead and hatched 3 Dryosaurs and 1 Stegosaurus, all of which need great names from you guys. We've got 2 male Dryos, 1 female Dryo, and our Stego, wherever she is also female. They scattered all around because, like I said, I recorded like half an hour talking to you guys, and then hatched them, and it was a whole thing. Here she is, little Stego. What's going on? She's kind of jittery. But, you know, she's doing her thing. Oh, yes, you're doing your thing. Anyway, what I was telling you guys about is how I just done the preliminary work here on the Stegosaurus and Dryo exhibit. Now, they are self-contained, and we've got the awesome, you know, iron door contraption so they can't get in and out. We do have one guy who thinks he can get into the park without administration. Or admission, I should say. But he's here. Hopefully he doesn't get eaten by the Stegosaurus, or at least killed by it. But this is all the work that we're going to be doing in this episode, because next episode I really want to come back into this exhibit here and really focus on... oh, there's a flower. Get out of here! Focus on detail. Focus on this river here. In fact, we'll hop into spectator mode for this. Like I've been telling you guys, I really want to extend this river. Go ahead and clear that weather. Not today. Yeah, we're going to send the river. It's going to go all along here, and then it'll cut underneath and kind of go on over here. Now, I am wondering here how I want it to work out, but I would love it to kind of turn into a rumbling waterfall, like a not a steep waterfall, but kind of like a tumbling one, multiple steps, right, as it goes into here. And right here can be kind of a viewing platform that I'm thinking hangs over some of the alloy. I might kind of cut in to the river here and have right here be kind of elevated and looking down. But that's the alloy exhibit. I'm getting ahead of myself, right? But it was kind of a thought that I had as I went through here. Now, once we get the river in, I got to think about the forest, right? The trees. Now, my main idea has always been to keep this area kind of a big open prairie, right? So where those annoying llamas are is the middle of the prairie, right? Big prairie with the river, but I do want to add those palm trees. So I'm thinking palm trees kind of dotted around the river, right? So the river looks like it's kind of feeding into a riparian zone, if you are scientifically inclined for that word. But then around the outside, I want at least a little bit of a forest here and there. I don't want it to just be rolling hills. So I'm not sure what type of trees I want to use. Maybe Joshua trees, maybe maple, maybe throw in some, maybe even some custom trees if I want to get fancy. But those will be on over there. And then the redwood trees here, I think we can have just a little bit, maybe like a little patch right here. Because realistically, it wouldn't just hard stop at the wall, right? It would kind of, you know, trickle over and have just a little bit of a patch of this kind of habitat bleeding in. So they'll get kind of a thick forest. They'll get an open field. They'll get a river and a riparian zone with some palm trees, and then some sort of landscaping on the outside. And of course, I want to try to hide all of these torches, similar to how... I'm zooming here. Similar how I did it in here, right? If you look like here, you don't see any torches, but then if you go on this side, look from non-view, you can tell I hit a torch there, I hit a torch kind of in the ground, I hit a torch down there. So the point is, when you're in the viewing areas, you don't actually see any of the torches. So that'll be a lot harder to do, obviously, in this big zone, but there's a few kind of neat tricks that I can do, maybe even put down some carpets and stuff like that. So, you know, little tricks here and there, but I want to hide the lights. And I think that is pretty much everything I talked to you guys about for the past 30 minutes, although I was talking to absolutely nobody, which is, you know, frustrating, but hey, it is what it is. It's the YouTuber's blessing and curse is that recording button. All right, folks, but I'm going to end the episode here. Like I said, next episode is going to be fully focused on the interior of this exhibit and some terraforming, which is a lot of fun. I really had a lot of fun in the Ceratosaurus exhibit. It was tough, and I told you guys that I'm kind of stretching my creative juices, right? I'm trying to flex my creative mind and do things that I've never really done before. So hopefully they'll come out well. I think they'll come out. I mean, they'll come out. They'll something will happen, right? Whether or not it'll be great, we'll find out in due time. But everybody, I'm going to let you get out of here. Thank you so much for checking out this series. If you want to talk to us a little bit more outside of the series and outside of the comment section, feel free to join the Discord. Discord link down below. Join the Sauropod Squad over there. We're always chatting. I got a bunch of games and some fun channels that I just kind of throw gifts in and stuff like that for fun. You know. So if you like that, if that's your vibe, head on over there. But until next time, everybody, I have been Jay. This has been my invading merchant who's not supposed to be here with his spitting llamas. But besides them, we're having a good time over here. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day as well. Till next time,